Good morning, boys and girls. This is application problem for lesson 13. And the problem says, so go ahead and close your eyes and visualize this part of the story. A fruit seller buys a carton of 90 apples. Finding that 18 of those apples are rotten, he throws them away. He sells 22 of the ones that are left on Monday, and now how many apples does he have left to sell? So I know that the first thing that we need to do is definitely find out how many apples he had left after he threw the ones that were rotten away. So if you don't have your morning work journal and pencil, you need to make sure to have that out. And I'm going to draw a tape model that represents how many apples he started with. So this tape right here represents 90 apples. He found that 18 of them were rotten. So this little part right here are how many apples in the carton were rotten. So I'm going to put an R for rotten. And then I know that the ones that were left are right here, but he sold 22 of them. So I'm going to put an S for those being the ones that he sold. The final question is, how many apples does he have left to sell? So the first thing that we are going to need to find out is how many he had after he threw the ones that were rotten away. Okay, so we're actually going to have two equations. So I'm going to cross this out and just write equation, because we need to solve with two different equations. My first equation is going to be my whole, which is 90. That's how many apples he started with, minus 18, the part that he had to throw away because they were rotten. So my first equation that I need to solve is 90 minus 18. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video and pick a strategy to solve 90 minus 18. Press play when you're ready to check your work. Alright, so I'm going to solve 90 minus 18 down here. And I think I will use the vertical model because that's the one that makes the most sense to me. But whatever strategy you chose, just check to make sure you got the same answer. So right here I know there's more on the floor. I can't subtract 8 from 0, so I have to go next door and borrow and decompose a 10. So the 9 tens become 8 tens. And I break those apart into 10 ones, so my 0 ones become 10 ones. 10 minus 8 is 2. 8 minus 1 is 7. So there's the answer to the first part, and that's that he has 72 apples left to sell. So make sure that you have that number 72. Now there's another question or equation that I have to write to find out how many apples he has left to sell after he sells 22. That's this part right here. Okay, so after he threw away the 18, he had 72 apples left. He started with 90, he threw away 18. Now he has 72 apples. So since there are 72 apples left in the carton, I know that he sells 22 of them. So since he's selling them, they're going away, which means I need to write another subtraction sentence. So my subtraction sentence is going to start with the apples that are left, which is 72, that's the whole, minus the part that he sells, which is 22. That's the equation that's going to find out the last question. How many apples does he have left to sell? Go ahead and press pause. Solve it with a strategy that makes sense to you, 72 minus 22, and then press play when you're ready to check your work. Alright, so now that you've had a chance to solve, I think I will solve 72 minus 22 with arrow math. 72 minus 2 tens, which is 20. The value of that's 20, so 2 tens less than 72 is 52. So I got rid of 29, I need to get rid of 2 ones. 52 minus 2 ones, 2 ones less than 52, is 50. So if you did vertical form, if you did chips, or arrow math, if you got the answer of 50, you were correct. But we don't stop there because we always want to write a statement that has our answer in it. So I know that the person that we're talking about in this is the fruit seller. And I know that the topic we're talking about is apples. So I'm going to write the fruit seller has 50 apples left to sell. Go ahead and write your statement. Make sure it includes your final answer. Remember, with application problems, we always start understanding the problem by drawing a tape model, writing an equation, and solving it, then picking a strategy to solve it, and then writing our statement. Once you're done, you can leave your morning work journal and pencil out and go on to something else on your playlist.